The Somerset I grew up with is located on the bluff of the Mississinewa Reservoir, offering panoramic views of the waters below. In the mid-1960s, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers relocated Somerset to its current location. The Mississinewa Dam was built to ease flooding downstream where the Mississinewa and Wabash rivers met. The location of Old Somerset is now in the flooded basin of the reservoir, and as a kid, I roamed that basin, looking at the old foundations, prowling the remnants of where graveyards once took root. It was a magical place. It still is. One of the foundations of the strange and unusual experiences that permeates this part of north central Indiana, particularly along the Mississinewa River, stretching from 5 Mile Bridge in Marion through Somerset to Seven Pillars near Peru, is what locals have referred to as Hobbit Land for the past 60 years or so. The heart of Hobbit Land is found in and around the area where the annual Mississinewa 1812 reenactment and living history museum is held, located in Grant County, Indiana, along the Mississinewa River, near the town of Jalapa. It's just a stone's throw away from Somerset. Very few locals could tell you how Hobbitland got its name, besides the obvious Tolkien reference. But it's the sort of thing that seeps from the collective unconscious to take on new life beyond simple folklore and urban legend. Why? Because the Miami natives revered the area as the home of the Paissa. What were Paissa? Magical little people of the forest, akin to what Northern Europeans would call gnomes, fairies, pixies, or wights. The Paissa were said to be dangerous trickster spirits imbued with great magical powers who stood between 2 or 3 feet tall. Paissa literally translates as little ones. Some Miami traditions place these Paissa in a more important religious role, being guides who lead the spirits of the dead through the 7 pillars to the Milky Way and on to the afterlife. When I was a child in Converse, it was said that 2 local men had captured one of these creatures in an animal trap and kept it in their workshop near Fox Lake, but it escaped, most likely with the help of others of its kind. As teenagers, Hobbitland was sacred territory for me and my friends, and I guess for young people all across the Tri-County area. It had been for decades. It's where you slinked off far from the prying eyes of adults. It's where we took our girlfriends, told ghost stories around campfires, drank cheap alcohol, and smoked cigarettes for the first time. It's also where many saw their first ghost or encountered strange, otherworldly sounds in the night, where they got their first taste of the paranormal, and it still holds true to this day. It's a magical place, a place where the veil between this world and the next is thin. I have had numerous encounters out in the Mississinewa, along its river and the surrounding forest, in the caves and abandoned places. I've heard the voices and sounds of things that could not be seen, and some that could. Full-bodied apparitions, unnatural orbs, and spectral lights that danced upon the water. From 5 Mile Bridge to Somerset to 7 Pillars and all points in between, there have been more mysteries than I could possibly recount. But recount them I'll try. Tales of Hobbitland and the Circle of Stone, of Goose Creek and the Murder House, of Cliff Cave and White Feather and the Black Coven. It's not lost on me that there are tales of little people in places like Somerset, Kentucky, and the county of Somerset in England. What is the strange connection between these 3 Somersets? Perhaps if you knock 3 times, you'll get an answer.